You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
That's where I saw the leprechaun.
Right, a leprechaun.
He told me to burn things.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Amen, bro. Very good. Wow, Max finally is on task and has an appropriate rejoiner. Well done, Max. Your career, you've reached the pinnacle, my friend.
Well, it told me to burn things.
Exactly. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Alan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And sitting in the studio, we've got our friends Allie Diggs and my daughter, Michaela Thorderson. She is an up-and-coming filmmaker. She's an aspiring, she just opened her own production company, low-budget film production. So, Alan, I'm going to tell you this I'm really appreciative because, we have a short visit coming up, Dastmalchian, and Max is going to be dialing in just a minute to go get him on the phone. But you're going to surrender your questions to let Michaela have a shot.
Absolutely.
So thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And I know Allie cannot wait for this.
Yeah, don't worry, Alan. I got something for us.
You got me.
I got
me, bro.
I got you.
Yeah, so
Joe may hate me for it, but I got you.
We can't wait. So, Max, do we have him on the line now?
We do.
All right, you guys, we got our buddy Dave Dastmalchian on the phone. I always mispronounce his name. Dave Dastmalchian. Hey, David, how's it going, my friend?
You got it. It's great. How are you guys? It's great to talk to you. My good friends, I miss you. I am very happy to be here chatting about all things geek.
Well, hey, we really wanted to ask you about Late Night with the Devil because I'm not even a horror fan, David, and I'm stoked for this movie. And we want to know more. What can you tell us without too many spoilers?
Well, most important thing about this film, whether you're a horror person or not, if you love a great, fun ride of a movie, I promise you will have a good time coming to see this. Yes, it falls into the genre of horror, but this is a movie that takes place on Halloween night, 1977. A guy named Jack Delroy had basically the second-ranked late-night talk show for late-night television at that time and was getting clobbered by Johnny Carson. And he was so desperate to save his show because he was about to get canceled that one night, Halloween night, he decided he was going to try and shock all of his viewers and really boost his ratings. And what he did led to a series of events that, as you watch the film and you see unfold, things get out of control. But to me, this movie reminds me of some of my favorite stuff that I saw. Started to really love film. It has an energy and kind of wildness that something like Network would have, and it's got obviously like the dramatic horror elements like a Rosemary's Baby, but it's also it's just really fun. It's a fun movie, and I really hope everyone will give it a shot and take a chance and go see it.
Scary and fun. There you go.
Yeah, I for one am very excited to see it. I had a question for you. When I was watching the trailer, I was terrified. And I was wondering, did you ever have any times like leaving set and going home? Did you struggle to disconnect from like the heaviness and the darkness on the set, or was it easy for you to just like go and do your job and then like sort of clock out?
I've always been worked very, very diligently as an actor to hone my skills technically so that I don't have to rely upon emotional states of being, but rather using my facial muscles, my vocal muscles, my body, my acting tools so that I can mimic and manufacture emotional states of being over and over and over again. Let's say you have to do a take 30 times where you're supposed to go from happy to crying, and so if I'm actually feeling so sad that I'm physically crying, to me it doesn't always work. So I do try to really approach the work in a very technical way, but the thing that was the wildest to me, I had like 3 incidents on the set of filming this movie that scared the living crud out of me. One was I was walking down a long hallway by myself. It was pretty dark in the middle of a long day of shooting. And I happened to go past the door of one of the stars of the film, Ingrid Torelli, who plays Lily. who plays a girl who claims to have an entity inside of her. And as I was walking past her door, she was staring in the mirror at herself, just preparing for the role. And she had this look in her eye, and her face was all twisted, all weird, and it scared the poop out of me. The other time was at one point, a table started shaking. I mean, it was a special effect. It was meant to shake, but it felt like it was shaking when the machinery would stop or before after, and it was super creepy. And then the last time was during one of the interviews, which you'll see in the film, because it's a talk show host, so he's doing these interviews, and I just got the chills really bad at one point. Got really, really scared. So that was the most that it stuck with me for sure. It was one of the hardest roles I've ever done, but also one of the most gratifying by far.
Very cool.
Yeah, David, just kind of playing off of Allie's question over there. I was watching a interview you did with the Hollywood Reporter actually just about a year ago before filming this, reflecting back, like in that interview, you said you had a lot of worry about taking on this role of, am I able to do this? Am I able to be this character? Just looking back a year now after everything's happened, has any of that worry diminished her at all?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I got to see the film last year. So we filmed this movie 2 years ago, and then last year it premiered at South by Southwest, and since then it's played at a number of really wonderful festivals, Sitges and Fantastic Fest, and played at Overlook, many, many more, Chicago International Film Fest. So getting to see it with different audiences was very rewarding. The thing that was so scary for me was when we were starting filming, and the idea of trying to, capture the energy, the charisma, the spirit of what it would, even second place talk show host, is a lot, because talk show hosts are not just guys reading lines. They are, comedians, they're improvisers, they're really good at engaging in question and answer with their guests. It's a whole other skill set, and to do it convincingly to me was very scary, because I knew if people were watching this movie and they felt like they were just watching an actor pretending, they were going to check out pretty quickly. So I watched hundreds of hours of old Johnny Carson and David Letterman and Don Lane and other late night hosts, and I got as much of the syncopation and rhythm and timing as I could possibly try to mimic. And so now, sitting here today, of course, I'm nervous. The movie's about to come out. I hope people like it. I hope people go see it. That's the fear that you always have. But no, I feel really great. But no, I feel really great about the work, and I think I definitely learned a ton about myself as an actor.
Awesome.
Okay, David, I just want to switch gears for just a second. Me and Alan were talking before we got you on the phone, and we realized we still owe you a barbecue tour. So we want to know what we need to do to get you back to Memphis and when.
Hey man, you when you dangle that carrot, it's like as soon as possible. I obviously my life and my schedule have just continued to get busier and busier since the last time I saw you guys. But I still love my magic wands that I got, my beautifully carved wooden wands, my Harry Potter wands, and my baseball bat, and I think fondly, and I know that you guys do believe you can outdo my Kansas City barbecue, so I'm willing to give it a shot.
Bring it on.
Yeah,
I
gotta
know
make
we
it
can.
happen, man.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, David. Yeah, we'll talk off.
Hey, it's convention season.
Hey, but David, you guys, okay, I'm seeing 100% scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm seeing Stephen King saying I can't take my eyes off it. I think you guys have hit into something pretty big, and I don't really even have much of a stomach for horror, but I can't wait to see this movie. It's not just because you're in it; it looks really different, and I want something different in my movies these days.
Thanks, man. I think you're going to I have a good feeling that you're going to respond to it. And like I said, if people are out there afraid to see this movie because they don't necessarily like horror, I would say give it a shot, because it does fall into a space that it's highly entertaining. There is actually a really great amount of comedy, not from me, but there is some actors in this who are so good. There's this guy, Reese, who plays my sidekick on the show. He's basically my Ed McMahon, my Andy Richter. he's so great. And you know what's wild? He'd never been in a film before. He's never even done television theater. He's an improv guy who the directors, there's two directors, they're brothers, Colin and Cameron. They write and direct together all their movies. It's a really wonderful family kind of operation they've got, just like you guys are doing. And Colin and Cameron found him watching a comedy sports improv show one night, and they said, this guy's got to be in our movie. And they got him. He plays Gus, and he steals the show. He's so great.
Gus, okay. Well, never mind. Hey, David, you sold me when you trotted. There's one trailer where you trot out, and I'm like, that looks very 70s to me. Just your mannerisms. You got the cheesy suit and everything, man. I think whatever filter you guys are using, whatever cinematography, I mean, it looks out of the 70s. So,
yeah. No, it's really great. They got a production designer who used to design game show sets back in the 1970s, and he did such a killer job building those sets and making them look authentic. And then the camera team, it's everything. You got 3 cameras going almost all the time, the way that they would on a live television broadcast. You've got some of the cameramen were actually operating those big old tube camera robot-looking things that you used to see on TV sets. So they put, I think we were shooting on Reds. I believe they put one, in there. And then the ability to allow things like mics, boom mics to go into frame, to allow little things that you would see if you were watching a TV show in the 70s. It just gives it this flavor, this feel of authenticity that is, I think it's really fun.
It's cool. And, hey, I know you're doing a lot of press tonight, so we got to probably let you go. But, David, I will say, for folks that might not be familiar with your comic book work, I'm not saying that it's based on Count Crowley or anything, but I'd say Count Crowley and Late Night with the Devil definitely rhyme. They really feel like they're in your wheelhouse,
they go
man.
Hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Listen, go to your local comic shop. We got to go. If you haven't bought a comic book in a long time, please, if you're listening, go to your local comic shop. I know these guys have their go-to spots in Memphis, and I want you guys to continue to support local brick and mortar shops. Go buy whatever. If you haven't bought a Superman comic since you were a kid, go check it out. Go see what catches your eye on the shelf when it's new release Wednesdays. You can go and just see what catches your eye. And if you are so inclined and you like something fun and scary, grab a copy of the new Count Crowley. We've got a whole new volume coming right now, and I think then you get in your car and you go to the cinema and you see Late Night with the Devil, and boy, you're gonna have one very out here. Grateful for you.
We have our copies right here in front of us, David. So we are promoting your art, my friend. But
I love it.
We love you,
so
brother.
Grateful for you guys.
We know we
love you guys.
We gotta let you go, but hey, David, really, man. Hopefully, we'll see you in Memphis in the near future.
I would love to make that happen and let Memphis know, to let me know, to give me shout outs on social media and say, come down here, and it'll just keep reminding me. And I know when is the next
November 23rd, so we'll talk, my friend.
That's like right after Thanksgiving or right before?
Right before. Right before.
Okay, cool, guys. That's great. All right. Well, much love. And thanks again for all the support. And, hey, you're always going to be a great geek to me.
Great. Thanks, David. Talk to you soon, man.
Bye.